Okay, y'all, the way I'm rushing, if I'm low energy, it's literally because, y'all, I'm tired. I'm so tired. Welcome to this chit chat. Oh, I didn't even got the extension thing on. Is my camera crooked? No. I'm about to crimp my hair. I just want to share with y'all, like, what I've learned in my 20s, honestly. And what I kind of wish I would have already knew before I turned or before I got into my 20s. One of the first things I learned, you don't have forever. Like, you do, but you don't. So utilize your choices, your decisions. Like, don't just settle. Anyway, y'all, I'm out of time as far as my hair, so I'm gonna come back when I'm doing my makeup, and then I'm gonna give y'all everything because I'm running late. So for now, just watch this better version of me doing my hair.
I feel it in my soul, yeah, so deep, so deep. You know that about me. Just turn on your avenue. I had to, but I'm mad at you. You always say I got an attitude, yeah, but that's you. It's acting rude. I had to ask you if you had a few, 'cause you always say I got an attitude, Why you talking on me like you be like? Why you always wanna be right? Oh, I just need the time that you came from me. I just need to know that it's still mine. And the way that you can't say my name don't seem right, but I know when to go and to stop.
The second thing I've learned in my 20s is accountability. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to have people in your circle who hold you accountable and understand that you're not always right. And even if you are, it is a way to express yourself with still holding yourself accountable and others accountable as well. The third thing that I learned is your first love, most of the time, may not be your forever love, and that's okay. It's an experience, but you shouldn't let it define you, and don't beat yourself up for the decisions you made because you're not that person anymore. The fourth thing I've learned in my 20s is that money definitely does not grow on trees. Just be mindful of your spending habits. You do not need everything. Most things are a want, not a need, and it's important to know the difference and tally the difference when buying something. A good little rule of thumb that I've learned is if you can buy something twice over and still have your checking account be good, then you don't need it. Like, you can't afford to pay for it. And I definitely learned that, and I'm glad I learned that. Do I always apply that? No, but I definitely should. The fifth thing that I learned is that you are going to outgrow many friendships, if not all your friendships, and that's okay. You do outgrow people, and it's nothing wrong with that. You growing and evolving, sometimes you cannot take everybody you started with you, and that's okay. And that goes into the sixth thing. It's okay if you are unsure of who you fully are. You know what I mean? You're still learning. And you don't have to have all the answers right now, whether your family makes you think you do or you don't. It kind of leads back into the first thing I learned. Like, you have time, but you don't. But at the same time, like, try different things. Travel, within your budget, within your means. Like, there's things you can do that are mostly free. Or there's things you can do where you can have a group of people to where you can go on a trip somewhere that's really expensive. But if you have a group of people that you trust, hopefully, or even family members, like, communicate and see, because you can discover things about yourself that you didn't even know you even liked or anything like that. Like, you're constantly going to learn something new, so it is okay if you don't know exactly who you are right now, today. You're human. It's okay. Keep going, keep growing, get up every day and live it to your fullest. The seventh thing I learned is that you have to learn how to not be a workaholic. While you're trying to build a life for yourself, you should still understand that you only live once, and you don't have to wait until you get into a relationship. You don't have to wait until you get the friends. You don't have to wait until you get the relationship with your family. You can do things, whatever you want to do now. You don't have to do it later. You can, but don't hinder yourself or wait on anybody else, because sometimes later never comes, okay? Later never comes, and you don't want to spend your life wishing that you would have done more because you were waiting on a spouse or waiting on friends. And it's certain things, yes, of course, like where you do have to wait on other people, but most things you really don't have to. So just keep that in mind. that it's okay to accomplish things, and you do not have to work so hard all the time. Like, you want to have room to have a personal life. Don't be a workaholic like I used to be. Sometimes I still can be, except now I'm a workaholic in my career and dream. I like that, Kareem. How much I say that? Now I'm a workaholic in my career, period. But anyway, the 8th thing that I learned is being abstinent is important to you, not necessarily other people. And if you meet a guy or a girl, depending on who you're attracted to, but if you meet a guy or a girl and they don't understand you being abstinent or a virgin or celibate or any of those things, then that person is not for you. And you should continue to do what you feel is best for you. Don't let anybody try to convince you that you're weird or that it doesn't make any sense, or losing your virginity or having sex is inevitable and you're not going to be able to do it, because you can. I lost my virginity at 21. I'm 28 and I've only had one sexual partner. That's my business, not your business, but I'm sharing it with you because I beat myself up for so long in my 20s, which I'm still in my 20s obviously, but I beat myself up for so long because I lost my virginity, and my plan was to wait and not lose my virginity until I got married. Well, that didn't happen, and so the consequences were what the consequences were. Thank the Lord I never got pregnant or anything like that, but it was a part of life. It was a part of my journey, and I beat myself up for so long because I wasn't supposed to lose my virginity. But then I learned that everything happens for a reason and everybody has free will, and I made the decision, and so I had to live with that decision. Just because I made that decision doesn't mean I'm going to let it define me, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to continue to live that type of lifestyle when it comes to having sex or things like that, because I chose not to. After some time, I chose to be celibate. After some time, I chose to wait again. And there's nothing wrong with that. We are all human, and it is okay. The 9th thing that I've learned is people will judge you for no reason. You can literally be a perfect person, and a person is still going to judge you. They're still going to look at you crazy. They're still going to judge what you wear. People are always going to have opinions, and you should never let another person's opinion stop you from living out your dreams, making any decisions for yourself, because you only live one life, and it's yours to live only. It's not anybody else's, and you can't take any of these people with you when you die. So yes, value others' opinions, especially if they're in your life and they mean something to you, but don't let it define or change your mind either. It's the difference between hearing someone else's opinion and then changing your mind, or receiving what they're saying, but they're trying to convince you to go with what they're saying. No, if you've already made up your mind, let that be your decision, and learn and grow with the consequences of whatever your decisions are. The 10th thing that I've learned is it is healthy to set boundaries for yourself, with others, especially your family. You're not being disrespectful by setting your own boundaries, and you're not being disrespectful by speaking up for yourself and stating how you want to be treated or what you may like or dislike. I grew up in an environment where talking back was disrespectful, and me and my mother are still in the process of learning that I am very opinionated, but I don't mean any disrespect, and not everything needs an opinion, and I've learned that sometimes other people want to hear okay, sometimes you want to hear okay, and that's okay. You don't have to have a rebuttal about everything. Some stuff you have to understand that some people don't think like you, and that's okay, and some people don't have your mindset, and that's okay. But you should not have to argue with someone or debate about what your boundaries are. You're grown. At least you're grown, and I'll say you're grown enough to set your own boundaries and state them with an individual, with a parent. Now, parents can go over that line, children can go over that line. So you guys have to meet in the middle, because your boundaries are important, your feelings are important, and don't let anybody tell you that they're not, no matter what age you are, but especially in your 20s. The 10th thing that I've learned, it might be the 9th or the 10th, I don't know, is that your trauma isn't always all of your trauma. Your trauma can be your family's trauma. It can be your mom's trauma. It can be your dad's trauma. It can be your grandmother's, your aunties, your uncles, your cousins. It can be your whole generation's trauma on your back. That's the whole point of generational curses. Like, you have to break generational curses because it just leads into worse things, and the devil will really like play on stuff like that. And you have to learn to accept your family's trauma and certain things that you cannot change. You have to learn to accept that sometimes certain people don't want to deal with everything. It's not your job to fix anybody. It's not your job to help. Now, it is your job. I mean, in a sense, I'm not trying to be contradictory. Like, if you're meant to break a generational curse, then you'll know, and all of that will kind of coexist with each other, and you'll apply it. Just don't overwork yourself. If you don't feel, if you're talking to God and you're praying and you don't feel that's what you need to do, then don't try to fix anything. Sort through your own shit first. Like, I have had a tendency of sorting through everybody else's shit instead of my own, and then now I'm 28, in my 20s, still learning myself and still being like, ooh, I need to change that, or ooh, I don't like that, let me tweak that, da-da-da-da-da. Still being me, still having the same characteristics, but my mental is constantly growing and changing, and I never want to be stagnant when it comes to my mental, and that's something that other people should also have and keep in mind. Like, you never want to be stagnant ever. Because I didn't even put it on the right areas. I don't know what I don't know. The 11th or 10th thing that I also learned that I'm just going to give y'all, you can be there for someone and give them advice, but don't harbor what they feel and don't let it define your mood. Because, especially in a spiritual sense, like, I can be, like, if someone tells me something, I'm all in. When I watch a show, whatever, like, some of y'all might not get this, but for those who do, then you get it. But don't absorb somebody else's feelings. Like, you can ask someone how they're doing, or someone can express to you how they feel, but it's not okay for you to change your mood because they're sad. For example, if my mom comes in here and she's upset, I'm going to ask her what's wrong, but I'm not going to harbor how she feels because those are her feelings and those are not mine. If I'm already in a good mood, I'm not going to let what she has going on affect what's going on with me. Because, number one, it's a health issue mentally where I'm worried about what she's worried about, but her journey is her journey and my journey is my journey. So just learn how to separate it, but still be there for somebody. Now, I also learned that I'm just going to give y'all, you have to trust yourself. You are capable. You are more than capable. And if you don't believe that you're capable, nobody else will believe that you're capable. And it starts with you. The biggest battle is in your mind. It's not your family. It's not your generation. It's not your friends. It's you. It's not your man. It's not your woman. It's not that you're lonely. It's not that you're single. It's not that you don't have any kids. It's literally you. So believe in yourself. Trust yourself. Know that you got it. I believe in you. I know you got it. We know you got it, and God knows you got it. And if it wasn't meant for you, it wouldn't even be on your mental. If it wasn't meant for you, you wouldn't even think about it. It wouldn't constantly come up. So just be yourself, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My camera's dying, and I gotta find the battery, and I'm rushing. So in case this is it, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.